Everyone, I'm Natalie Perry, and today I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about graphic design and how to get started doing graphic design on your own. Now, personally, during quarantine, I've had quite a bit of time, and most of my time is spent online, and so I decided to kind of experiment with graphic design and see if I even liked it, and it turns out I am a huge fan of doing it, and it's something that's helped me like broaden my horizons and use a lot of time in kind of a productive way. I make prints to sell online or to put on shirts, and the main place that I do it all on is Canva. Canva is a free graphic design medium that gives you like different templates for things like social media or events or marketing, and all of these things, unless you pay for Canva Pro, are free. They have templates that you can use in almost any sort of situation, and the templates are always a very good place to get started if you don't quite know what you're doing yet. They have a Discover tab that has free photos you can use, different icons, how you can print your own products, and it has a Learning tab so that you can learn the basics of graphic design, things like value and texture, branding your businesses, social media marketing. All of these are lovely resources to use. So I'm not going to go too in depth, but I will show you firsthand how to kind of get a design going in a way that you like. This is one of my best sellers on my shop. It's a very cute little, it's just a little like geometric vampire thing that I threw together. This really took like 10 minutes overall. And when I break down how simple it is for you to get started with this, I hope that you find that you actually like doing graphic design too. So let's look here. This is the template that I began with. I started with this, it's kind of funny, it says begin anywhere, but I chose this, and this is just a basic Instagram post, so it's a perfect little square. I did this, and then I changed the background color by selecting the background in the back, and then going into this. Document colors are all of the things that are currently on your post. So these things will change. If I were to change this color, I wouldn't have this as the background anymore, and I'm not going to change it because I really like my design and I don't really want to mess anything up with that. But these are the other colors that complement it. So if you want to make sure that like different shades are similar or the same, it's a very good way to see what colors are already being used. The default colors, these are the ones that can really easily be used with other things like the stickers and the other elements that Canva has. Or you can go here and then pick a completely new color from the color wheel. Here, all of these shapes have been added in completely by me. So none of these were presets. Like this vampire here is something that I made completely with a bunch of different smaller elements. So like I found this gray circle in the back and I changed the color to gray, and then I sized it up a little bit by pulling here on the corner. Yeah. And then what I did from there is I found an oval that I really liked and just kind of stretched it up to make it more of like a cartoonish eye. And I looked for just a smaller little line so that he was winking. I found the triangles for the teeth. All of these shapes can be found here in the elements. You can search for icons and shapes. So let's say like I don't know, if I want a rectangle, like if I want to try and make him a little tiny hat. Look, it'll pull up all of these different squares and rectangles, and some of them are a bit more complex and they've got like shading to them. Those are things where you'd be able to place text over it and the text box would look really nice. There are different elements where it's supposed to look like it's drawn in, hand drawn. There's different colors that you can use and select from, but I want something, I think, that one's not quite straight enough for me. Let's say if I want to make him like a funky little hat here, anything with this little crown, it means it's on Canva Pro. So it's something that you would have to pay or try the free trial of Canva Pro for. But right now we're just looking at what we can make without spending any money on the service. A lot of people shy away from graphic design because they assume that you need a lot of very expensive equipment and that sort of stuff. So look, if we look right here at this guy, if I wanted to rotate it so it'd be like the top of a top hat and make it straight up, I can turn it and it'll tell me at 90 degrees that will have been one rotation to the side. And now I can make it smaller so that it kind of fits on his head better, and I can stick it right on there. But now I can see it's going out of the frame, so I want to make it even smaller so I can see the whole thing. And look, these pink lines appear when things are centered or lined up. See, right there, it's showing me it's just slightly off center, but it would still be something that could be used in like a good, decent graphic design. It's showing me where it's lining up with things like his eyes if I was trying to base something on that. But if I put it right here, that is the center of the circle. So that's like the middle of his head. And I don't like it being white. I think that looks a little strange. So let's make it black. Just make it black to like match the sort of creepy emo vibe we're going for. And now, because it's a top hat, I want a line going on the bottom, so it will be like the brim of the hat. These, again, will all come up, and they're free, and they're easy to use, and I can now move this. This line's really big, but I can center it and make it smaller by moving those little corners. And then, now it's centered to his face and the top of the hat, and there you go. Now my vampire is fancy, and he's got a tiny hat. But that's not what we're here for. That's just kind of showing you that you can insert shapes into Canva super easily, and you can move things around, and it already is kind of programmed to help you see, like, oh, that's where the center is. So you don't need to worry about like trying to figure it out or trying to eyeball it and then downloading your image and being like, oh, that's completely off center. Let's say I really like this color, but I want to make a second post that kind of goes along with it. If I add new page, then I can start adding things into here, and I can add in whatever I want, like some text. Like, let's just put something in here. I like this. This is kind of cool. So now it put that in there with the default text, but I don't need it saying Planet Arcadia. I can put it in with a cute little slogan, like my favorite book quote. Let's do "Stay Gold" from The Outsiders. Let's take away that space so then it centers a little bit more evenly. If you click on this button here, it'll change the alignment. So now it's all the way to the right. Now it's centered. Now it's to the left. Now it's justified. And that won't change too much. But if you want to like have things look a certain way, it's kind of nice to be able to change that. If you click on this and click on effects, you can add in shadows to your thing. So I can make it look like the shadow is offset, making it look deeper or farther away, or I can bring the shadow up closer to it. For right now, I kind of like where 40 is because it's right there. It's close to it, but not too bad. With direction, this is essentially letting you play with where the light source would be coming from theoretically. So like at -45, which is what it was originally on, right there, it would be like the light was coming down from this direction. This is something that's really nice if you want to make some sort of illusion or effect. With blur, what that's going to do, well, it's going to blur the shadow, so it's going to look less, as we can see, like the shadow here is very uniform. We can see where the edges of the letters actually are, but the more that we blur it, the more that it will be taken away. Transparency, pretty obvious. Now it's at 100%, so it's not transparent at all. If we put it at 0, it's non-existent. So if we set it back to like 40 or so, that's about what it was at originally. The colors, you can hollow it out, you can do a glitch effect, the neon. This is something that you will discover and like figure out how to play with as you start to use Canva, and not just Canva, but just graphic design overall. The main thing that I would tell someone who wants to get into graphic design is that you should find a software you like. I recommend Canva because personally it's very user-friendly, and it's something that gives you a lot of tools that you don't have to pay for. It gives you templates that you can use fresh out the gate, and you can just stick more stickers on here and change colors and find out what you like and find out how you like to do it. Because my style of graphic design is very like geometric based, and it's a bunch of shapes layered on shapes. It's very clean cut lines, but there's a lot of people who like to blur different colors together or add in things that are mainly centered around text. So my advice to you would be find something that you like to do and just experiment with it. Just see what shapes do you like on top of other shapes? What do you like bolded? What do you not like bolded? What do you like layering things together? Do you like to make things that are very uniform and meant to inform? Or are they things that you want to like put on stickers that are kind of cute and zany and that sort of stuff? I recommend Canva because it definitely gives the most in-depth tutorials about how to use it, and not just use it, but use it effectively. Something else you can do with Canva is you can upload images or videos into this. I don't have any images ready to go, but it is something that you can do. If you have like a cutout image that you want to stick in here and put like right here in this space, you can definitely do that. Or Canva also helps to make videos. It's got different sets of B-roll footage that you can use to make these sort of things, especially if you're making like Instagram posts and you want it to play different videos on different parts as people scroll through it. That is something that can be done as well. So this is a nice introduction to not only graphic design, but also a little tiny taste of video editing. Not real intense video editing, but it's something that can get you off the ground. If you want to share it, this share button will let you put in emails of people, and you can either let them edit your design, so they would have free reign to like move things around, change colors, whatever, or what you can do is you can download it. A PNG is suggested if you don't care about like visual files, it doesn't really matter if you do a JPEG versus a PNG, but a PNG is a higher quality. The JPEGs here, it's a small file image size, so if you're just messing around and you're making a bunch of little designs that you just want to get saved to your hard drive so you can look back at them for later reference, that's a really good thing to do. And then you can also download like the videos, the GIFs, and other things like that. Don't worry about these. If anything ever has a little crown by it and you don't have Canva Pro, don't worry. We can also select pages. So this one I didn't do anything with other than put some text over the top of it. So if you want to save just this first page with this little guy right here, then you would change it to that. If you want to save both pages, select 1 and 2, and you'll see it comes up over here. If you just want to save page 2, that's what you would do. For right now, I'm going to save both pages just to show you how the download begins. There you go. And now this is something that you can do. You can like refer friends to it and see if they start using Canva, or if they buy a subscription to Canva, then what it'll do is it'll give you this referral link, all that stuff. But we're not worried about that. We're worried about figuring out how to start making. So now, as you can see, it was saved as a zip file because it was multiple pages. It was these two together. We can get that out of the way. And other than that, there's not tons that you need to worry about. You can use this animate feature if you want to like have things come into the screen. So that showed you like, that was the order that I put all the stuff in. This rise effect, again, that's the order I put it all in. If you want to have none, if you're not looking to make GIFs, you're just looking to make a single still image, don't worry about animations. I hope this was something that helped to clarify like what Canva can do and how to get started, and the fact that you don't need to worry about buying expensive softwares to start making things. And generally, if you start doing it and you enjoy what you're doing, it's something that could pay off pretty well. So thank you for watching. I hope that you continue to support United Under Arts. I am Natalie Perry, and thank you.